You don't have a laziness problem. You see, most men think they're lazy. In fact, they say it about themselves all the time. They say, I just need more discipline, or I've got to stop wasting time, or I need to get my life together. But if you were actually lazy, you wouldn't be thinking about the things you should be doing. You wouldn't feel the weight of them sitting in the back of your mind all day. The truth is, most men aren't lazy. They're avoiding something they don't want to face. And there's a difference. You know what I'm talking about. The phone call you need to make, or the conversation you need to have with your wife or your girlfriend or your boss. The job application sitting half finished on your computer, or the yard project that's been lingering for weeks. The bill on the counter you keep telling yourself you'll deal with. You think about it constantly, but instead of facing it, you grab your phone. You open up YouTube or you scroll social media. You watch another stupid cat video made by AI, and you tell yourself, I'm tired. I'll deal with it tomorrow. I just need a reset. And tomorrow keeps moving, and the pattern repeats. You see, that's not laziness. That's avoidance. See, a lazy man doesn't care. And most men struggling with this care deeply, and that's why it weighs on them. You feel it when you lay down at night. You feel it driving to work or sitting in church. You feel it in those quiet moments when life gets still enough for your mind to catch up with you. Because deep down inside, you know exactly what you're avoiding. And the dangerous part is this: avoidance doesn't stay contained. It spreads. And at first, it's just one thing, one conversation or one responsibility or one decision. And then slowly, you start stepping back in other areas as well. You stop checking the bank account because you don't want to see the numbers. Or you avoid difficult conversations because you don't want conflict. You tell yourself you'll start getting back in shape next week. You know you should spend time in Scripture, but instead you sit there scrolling endlessly and aimlessly until midnight. And after enough time passes, you start believing something about yourself that simply is not true, that I'm just lazy. But that label actually protects you from dealing with the real issue. Because if the problem was laziness, then maybe all you really need is motivation. Maybe you just need a better routine or a better morning schedule or another productivity system. But avoidance runs deeper than that, because avoidance is usually tied to something uncomfortable. The fear of failure or the fear of conflict, the fear of responsibility or not measuring up, or sometimes even shame. And instead of facing those things directly, many men learn how to distract themselves from them. Not all at once, slowly, quietly. I've struggled with that kind of thing myself. There are moments where I know exactly what needs to be done, and I can feel myself moving around it instead of through it. Not because I don't know better, and not because I don't care, because I know stepping into it is going to feel uncomfortable. And that's the moment that matters, right there. The moment where you either face the thing or you escape it. Because every time a man chooses escape over responsibility, it gets a little easier to do it again. And eventually he starts drifting through his own life. Again, not all at once, just little compromises, little delays, little acts of avoidance repeated over and over. Until one day he looks around and realizes he hasn't really been moving forward for a long time. And if this is hitting you right now, the answer probably isn't to completely rebuild your life overnight. You see, it's simpler than that and harder. You stop pretending you don't know what needs to be faced, because you probably already know that. It's the thing that keeps coming back into your mind when life gets quiet. It's that conversation or the responsibility or the decision, the action you keep postponing. And instead of escaping it again, you need to face it. Not next week, and not when you feel motivated. Now. Even if it's uncomfortable. In fact, especially if it's uncomfortable. Because that discomfort is usually the doorway. And most men spend years trying to walk around it instead of through it. Most men don't have a laziness problem. They have an avoidance problem. And until they face the things they keep running from, nothing else really changes. Now, if you're serious about getting unstuck and taking responsibility for the things that matter, and I know you are because you're here, I put together a free 7-day Faith and Fortitude challenge to help you start moving forward. Again, it's absolutely free, no strings attached. Link in the description.